Hey babes, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. Now's a good time to go ahead and subscribe and all that good stuff. Of course, all the details to this unit will be linked down in my description box below. If you guys have not already known about this company, what in the world are y'all doing? Let's just talk about that. This is the Xrsbeauty. This is their straight unit, which actually looks more of like a natural wave. And this is their 13x6. It is pre-plucked, clear lace. You guys can see the knots on this is already bleached. It's already been pre-plucked out. You literally don't have to do anything to it at all. This is actually the packaging, which I'm in love with. You guys know I'm a big stickler for packaging. This unit came extremely fast. You guys can see all the goodies that they did provide me. I got a nice little brush to mess with the baby hairs. We got an elastic band, clips, lashes that of course I won't use, a wide tooth comb, and also a wig cap, and just a few of the flexi rods. So of course, let's jump right into this. So for today, I'm actually going to be showing you how to do a watercolor. This is something that is almost imperative when you get your units. Sometimes they are not the bestly, colored. Sometimes they do come in just more of a natural color, which is more of that dark brown. And in my opinion, sometimes just to take your unit from okay baby, is looking good to absolutely fabulous, you do need to kind of bump up that color just a teensy tiny bit. So the way that I do that is by quickly just dyeing the unit. You guys are going to get a chance to see exactly how fast it is to do this. Obviously, if you are okay with that dark brown color, then why are we here, right? But in my case, I've actually fallen in love with jet black hair, and so this is where we are with it, right? You guys can see how full, healthy, long the unit is, but I just again wanted to go ahead and take it up a notch. So I'm using the Clairol Section Tones Natural Black, and so of course we're just gonna go in and kind of touch up the edges or kind of the roots of this, right? Because we're gonna be doing the watercolor, and you guys know that when you're doing that, sometimes that color can get a little bit on the lace, and sometimes it's tricky to remove. So I found a way around it, and so what I go ahead and do is just apply a little bit of that dye, go ahead and shake up the developer and the of course the color in the bottle together, squirt it into a bowl on the side, and then I use a toothbrush and a comb and of course a applicator brush to go ahead and just slowly apply the dye to the roots. Now you want to kind of move in very small sections because you don't want the product to be too bulky or leak over and spill into other areas. And so if you do find yourself a little heavy-handed like I did here, go ahead and take a fine-tooth comb just to brush all the product throughout the hair. It'll help kind of blend it downward, and definitely make sure that none of that dye touches the lace and sticks and just kind of starts to tint it, because then we have to go to another process, which I've already showed you guys maybe a little over a year ago. So if you do not already have on your post notifications, definitely make sure to turn those on. That way you do not miss any other videos from me, of course. And you guys can already see what the color payoff looks like instantly. The hair is shinier, it appears healthier, and just so much fuller. And so that's the reason that I prefer a black dye over just leaving the color in that natural brown state. You definitely want to keep in mind, if you ever have intentions on coloring the hair, maybe a lighter, doing like an ombre, blonde, red, whatever it is you're deciding, once you apply this black dye, it is going to be problematic to undo that. So definitely be sure that you are confident about keeping the unit this dark toned color. You should not have to touch it up too much in the future, depending on how long you guys keep your wigs. For me, wigs like this will last a good year, 2 years, or probably even more with the proper care. So that's one thing that I love about this unit. I can definitely tell that the cap was constructed really, really well. Like I said, this lace was their new clear lace, which is a little bit a step above a transparent lace, just because you literally cannot see this, right? So it's a Swiss lace that literally melts into your skin, and that just makes the installation process super easy. It can also be worn gluelessly. So if that's something you're curious about, not really sure, about what it is you need to be doing, then listen. This is a beginner friendly unit where you literally would be able to put it on and go. So again, just giving you a close up on that color and showing you how quick this process is. I literally applied this in 5 minutes. You guys can see, I don't hope you can tell, I did not speed up this process. I did edit it just a tiny bit to kind of move the, you know, me pausing in between along, but already we're just under 5 minutes and we already have the roots completely covered. So that's good. Now we're going to go ahead and kind of move on to the next step, which of course is going to be heating up that water, right? So my bathtub luckily gets really hot, boiling water almost. I'm literally just going to take the contents of the bottle color. You guys can actually use a rinse for this if you don't want to use, you know, the developer mix. Completely up to you. You'll end up with the same result, but I'm just using another box of the Clairol. Again, this is their natural black, if I'm not mistaken. It looks like a 1B. That's what the box says too. So anyway, you guys can do the jet black, blue black, green black, whatever it is you decide to get this color. And you guys can see how that developer just starts to really heat up, and of course turns into the color that we're looking for. So once you're happy with that, go ahead and start to dunk the unit. Now, I don't really like to have stains on my cap, so this is why I'm doing this in a very strategic way. Obviously, we could have just did this video start to finish, 1 minute, go ahead and dip it into the bucket and then kind of go from there. But again, you may have trouble with, number one, unbleaching the knots, which you've already previously bleached or the company did for you and you've paid for that. Or two, you have a lot of stains on the cap. So you definitely want to take your time with dunking. Go very slowly, just lightly, you know, dunk the hair into the water. And you guys can see I'm using the help of a comb just to evenly distribute everything. Obviously, it's dunked in water. The color should go everywhere, but just to be safe, you don't want any blotchy spots. And then, of course, go ahead and transfer that into, I just use a very old bowl that I literally only use for hair. And you guys can see what the color looks like instantly. Jet black, super nice, shiny, beautiful, and we are all set. So I did go ahead and shampoo condition this with my Milani. I don't remember the exact line, but you guys can use whatever you feel comfortable with. I did go back and forth between my Cream of Nature mousse and then also the olive oil one. There was no specific reason for doing that. In this case, it was just whatever my hand would grab first. And I'm going ahead and just kind of parting this off. So the company did send the unit already kind of pre-styled in a way, which was just the middle part. So if you want to do a side part, you definitely can. Again, this is a 13x6, so you definitely have a lot of flexibility on if you even want to do a half up, half down. But again, I just want to show you a very beginner friendly way to kind of style the unit, something you should be doing right when you get them. That way, once it's on your head, you don't have to worry about burning yourself with the hot comb. You don't have to worry about the hair being wet on your head or really just too much styling, right? Literally all you should be doing is applying the unit onto your head and kind of going. So from here, I'm pretty much just going to go ahead and use the mousse to mold everything down so that I don't have to do so much work with the hot comb once everything's completely dry. So this ended up being a 2-day process, and the only reason for that is because typically I will go ahead and maybe blow dry the hair out or sit it underneath my hooded dryer, but I was in no rush. So I did go ahead and allow the hair to air dry, which of course in my opinion further protects the hair because you are not risking any heat damage or anything like that. And so of course, boom, next day I'm just going through with the hot comb just to really hit the roots and make sure that everything is flat. But you guys can see the mousse did a really good job of laying it down, and so it took all of the legwork out of this for me. Now, you guys have seen me use the FHI flat iron 1,000,001 times. Y'all know we're going on year 4, I think, with this tool, so I'm happy about that. And then of course I go back and forth with my camera or not hot iron spray, what is it, the camera flat iron spray, to actually act as like a light hold for the hair. It actually provides a little bit of shine and definitely just holds everything in place without having any like flyaways, frizzies. And that's another thing that I wanted to point out. This hair was extremely soft, extremely full from root to tip. So you know, sometimes you'll get a wig or bundles and it'll have a bunch of flyaways on the way down to the end, right? In this case, they did not cheat you, so it's definitely worth the money, the investment. And that's another thing. When you get a wig, you want something that's going to last. You should not have hair falling out. They did not over bleach the knots. You guys can see how easily it got bone freaking straight. And you guys can see how nicely that black tint just kind of added an extra shine to the hair. And this is with no product at all. Literally outside inside of that camera flat iron spray, which like I said adds just a small amount of shine. When I say small, it's more matte than shiny. But you guys will kind of get to see that as well. You guys can already see how vibrant the hair looks. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish up pretty much flat ironing this out, and then of course I'll be back to show you really quickly how I trim the ends and then of course apply the wig for myself. Alright guys, so don't mind me, of course, already pre-prepped with my wig cap glued onto my head. I'm just going around and kind of evening out the end. You guys know I don't believe that a hairstyle is complete until you have given a little bit of trim and some type of shape to the hair. So I did go in and add my BioSilk serum. It's just a nice shine to the hair to help kind of boost it even further, and boom. I've already applied the unit. You guys have seen me do this 1,000,001 times, so definitely check out my installs for that. If you want to learn how to do it glueless, I have videos for that. If you want to learn how to apply this with the glue, that's available to you as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I love you guys so much. Stay pretty, and I will see you next time.